Welcome to the 51st Annual Sun and Fun. Today we're very excited to be bringing you the 3rd Annual Sun and Fun Innovation Preview live from Lakeland. Today's show is brought to you by Delta Hawk. Delta Hawk is leading off our innovation preview today with some exciting news about the future of aviation power plant technology. Our coverage this week is brought to you by these sponsors.
I grew up in an aviation family. My dad flew airplanes and flew air shows actually, so ever since I was 3 years old, the only thing I've ever wanted to do was be an air show pilot. It's cliche, but I get to live my dream every single day. I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, the new aerobatic propeller. It's increased the performance of the airplane. It's made the harmonics balance throughout the airplane so much better. By far the best aerobatic propeller that I've ever flown behind.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name and indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
Spring is in the air and it's time to go flying. Whether you've been flying all winter or have some rust to remove, we have some great news. Our spring 25% off sale has just started, but it only lasts for the next 6 days. You'll want to take advantage of this sale through April 8th by using the code SUN.
And we'll see you
At Sun and Fun.
Now that's what I call accompaniment. Welcome to the 51st Annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, the 3rd Innovation Preview, and a whole lot of excitement. We've been sitting on some major news for the last couple of weeks, and we're about to share it with you all, and you get to share it with everybody you know. It's exciting stuff. But first, let's talk to the boss of bosses, the grand poobah of Sun and Fun, our boss, Gene Conrad.
All right, well, if you like jets, this is a place to be, apparently. So, hey, first of all, I want to welcome everybody to the 51st Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo right here in Lakeland, Florida at the Lakeland International Airport. It's going to be an exciting week for us where we are going to turn up the fun at 51. So hopefully you know that's our slogan. We've been pumping it out there. But we are going to have a great week. I will tell you right now, ticket sales are up 20% this week already versus last year, which was a record year for us. So it is going to be a banner year. We had a little bit of rain yesterday, but we're ready to go. It should be a great week. Make sure everybody drinks water, stays hydrated. It's going to get a little warm. But what I wanted to be able to do and talk to you about today is something that we've been working on for the last year. So here at the Lakeland International Airport, there has been significant growth here at this airport over the last 15 years. Part of that is my fault because I was the airport director here starting back in January 2010, was here for 12 years, and now I've been here with the Aerospace Center for Excellence and Sun and Fun for the last 3. But so I'm very plugged into the airport and the growth and what is going to happen here over time. And so what I want to be able to unpack for you a little bit today is there is a new runway coming to this airport probably in the next 8 to 10 years. So just to calm everybody's fears, when you come back next year, it will look just like this, all right? So, but it will take us some time, but in partnership with the Lakeland International Airport, Visit Central Florida, and Sun and Fun, we have spent the last year putting together our strategic master plan for the next 20 years. This runway is going to be a huge, great addition actually for this event. If you're obviously familiar with Oshkosh, when you look at 927, they've got 1836, so you got 36 left, 36 right. You basically take those 2 runways, and we're going to have 2 full parallel runways here in the future. But what that means for us is there's going to be significant changes to our footprint here, and that's again what we have spent the last year looking at. So what I'm going to show you right now is a video, and it's a fly-through. So you're going to be able to see what our future site is going to look like. So to give you an example, as most of you are exhibitors, right now we have 4 20,000 square foot exhibit buildings. In the future, we will have 2 40,000 air-conditioned exhibit buildings. It is coming. All right, it's Florida. It gets hot here, right? So we're going to have that. So, but we have great partners at Visit Central Florida and again in the airport. And what I would like to do again is kind of walk you through this video. It is 6 minutes. I'm not going to bore you with all 6 minutes. I'll probably get through 4, but I want to show you what exactly we're looking at. So if you look at the bottom left-hand corner, there's a subdivision there. That's where I live, just FYI. So I'm very close to the airport. And we have the various areas, obviously, that we have to accommodate because when you look at our event, it's a logistical ballet, air traffic, camping, cars, all of that. So you can see the cars there on the west end. There's movement for Chopper Town. This is GA Camping. The road on the right is Medulla, which is right out here. So there's a lot of shifting in various things for various areas. Vintage, for example, is in a new location. The island, which is on the east side of the airport, will move west. And as we swing around, out here in the 42 acres, there will be 2 hotels out there in the future. The white roof building up there in the middle, just north of the entry plaza, that is this existing facility. The blue roof building right there that we're panning over, that is the Central Florida Aerospace Academy right over here. And then as we swing around, you can see the 2 exhibit buildings on the left and all the various exhibit areas that you can see there for the outdoor exhibits that we accommodate here at the airport. That is an F-35, that was planned. We just had him in real life, but then we threw him in the video. So anyway, as a joke. You can see our military static ramp as we swing around. You can see the crowd line there, nothing in front of the crowd, so a big open area so everybody can see. The daily air show. And again, as we swing back around, we're going to head to the east here, and then we're going to go to the Warbird area. You're going to see the big ramp right there. That is a new ramp just for the Warbird community and parking for them as well. And then as we swing back around, you can see there's a new hangar there. NOAA, great partners here at the airport. They are transitioning away from the P-3. They're going to be receiving C-130s, and that will be a new hangar for them to accommodate those aircraft here at Lakeland Linder. Our general aviation parking area, our itinerant folks, our day trippers are going to basically be in the same location that they are now. And you can see right there the new runway. And then, so that's 28 left, and then 28 right is just to the north. Again, as you swing around. Also, in the in-flight guide, there is a QR code that will take you direct to this video. So if you want to take the time to look at it at your leisure, you're able to do that. You can see we'll have a ramp as well for our demo teams, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. Coming back across NOAA, you have the Warbirds, and then this is where Home Built will be. So Home Built right next to Paradise City, right next to the grass strip. There you have Paradise City. The grass strip is fixed by function, so that will be there. And then you can see down here to the right as we pan around, that will be our new campground. So the existing main parking lot will become our campground for all of our visitors here as well. Now granted, this is a 20-year plan. It will take us some time. That's the VOR that's out in the middle of the field right now. I get asked all the time, why would you accommodate the VOR? It's a very important VOR for the state, for the center of Florida. All the westbound traffic going to Orlando goes over that VOR, and then traffic from Fort Myers, for example, coming north goes over the top of that. So the FAA will have that here for some time. Also, this is now, you're coming from the west, heading east. Off to the left here is one of our new exhibit buildings. You just saw amphitheater as well. And then we're going to come into the entry plaza here shortly. You can see the 727 there, the Aerospace Center for Excellence at Florida Air Museum, Skylab Innovation Center in the background there, and then some really key, unique things that we're going to be adding as well as we swing back around. Right here, as we swing around, that is the main gate. And this first building right here, right next to the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, that will be an aviation middle school that we will build. And also behind that is an A&P school. We have our great partners with Polk State College and Travis Career College. We have our A&P program here. There are 70 folks in that program right now. This will be able to accommodate 250 people in this program. So I'm not going to bore you with all of this, but again, you can watch this at your leisure. But this is just kind of a fly-through food court, military ramp, and whatnot. But lots of detail here. There will be a lot of hard work by a lot of great partners. We know it costs a lot of money, but those exhibit buildings, for example, Visit Central Florida is invested in this event. This is our 51st year. Obviously, the economic impact is very, very important to this community, but also those buildings will be very valuable for our community the rest of the year that outside our 1 week, the other 51 weeks. So again, I look forward to you guys looking at this. I'm always open for comments. You can find my emails, shoot me an email, but we've worked really, really hard to be able to present that, or to present this to you today, and really appreciate the opportunity to do that. And hope you all have a great, safe week. Hope it's very, very successful, and love you all, appreciate you being here, and let's go. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Gene, exciting news about the airport. That's great to hear. I'm Christopher Rude, CEO of Delta Hawk Engines. Last year in this Innovation Showcase, we announced the collaboration with Piper for our first certified integration with the Seminole, the twin engine. This year, we have some new and other exciting innovation things to announce. That we have kicked off and embarked on the STCs for the 172 and the 182. When you look at Delta Hawk Engines developing these new STCs, we're creating powerful innovation for general aviation. This is a major step forward, bringing Jet A engine technology to the world's most popular aircraft, the Cessna 172, the backbone of flight training and the GA private aviation world, along with the 182, the workhorse of the family as well. When you look at that, we plan on providing owners and operators a forward-thinking solution that future-proofs their investment in their aircraft and remove all uncertainty around the future of avgas by going and switching to Jet A and eventually SAF. We also have and are taking orders beyond the 172, 182 for the Vans RV-14. For those of you that were in Oshkosh, they saw a preview of the RV-14 at our booth in Oshkosh. That plane has left Delta Hawk in a running condition and is being finalized now by the builder and will be flying shortly. Above and beyond that, we also have the Twin Velocity here on property. I flew it in myself on Saturday, and we've been getting a lot of hours on the Velocity with the 2 engine hours for every pilot hour as we move forward. With no mixture control, no risk of shock cooling, single lever power control, management, and the pilot can focus more on flying the plane and less on engine management going forward. How to find Delta Hawk? You can find us at our own display. We have engines there. We have people from the factory here to talk and to learn about it. You can also find the Twin Velocity at the Velocity booth. You can also come to one of the Engine Tech Forum seminars that we have on both Wednesday and Thursday, led by Aaron Nito from our team. And the fourth one that didn't make the slide, but we also have one of our engines in the Aperion UAV heavy lift booth for drones, as well as that booth number is MD15C in the Vertical Aviation and Technology Center. So Delta Hawk is displayed proudly at several of the areas along Sun and Fun, and we look forward to you guys learning more about how we can do that. So I leave you with a final thought. Flight schools, let's talk. We know you have a lot of 172s that need to reduce maintenance costs, and we need to reduce operating costs, and we need to keep the airplanes flying. Come visit us, come find us. For those of you in the press, the Amelia's in the back of the room in a Delta Hawk white shirt with USB sticks that has all the press release information and all the other information, and you can follow us. Follow us on social media, and I look forward to you guys learning more about Delta Hawk and you finding Delta Hawk more in the future. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Abid Faruqi. I'm the principal engineer and owner of Silverlight Aviation and Aero Jones Aviation USA. Silverlight Aviation manufactures American-made gyroplane called AR-1, and we are also introducing a side-by-side gyroplane. So a little bit about me. We are introducing, first of all, let's talk about Silverlight Aviation. We are doing two things here. GWS for gyroplanes. So you may have heard a lot of accidents that are happening in gyroplanes right now or in the past. A lot of takeoff accidents, specifically because a lot of private pilots from airplanes are switching over, and there are certain mistakes they make that pretty much guarantees an accident on takeoff. So GWS, or gyroplane warning system, is a new technology that actually warns the pilot by audio that 4 or 5 seconds before something drastic will happen, it'll actually warn the pilot that you're about to make a mistake that will cause a catastrophic event, so they have time to react and essentially abort the takeoff. Similarly, it will also warn them about in-flight emergencies, like if they're going to low Gs, and low G in a gyroplane, if you lose your G load, that can be a fatal event, in fact, in a gyroplane, in any rotorcraft, really. So we are trying to do a predictive analysis and see the trend developing, and 4 or 5 seconds before it gets to the point where it's unrecoverable, it essentially warns the pilot. So this is the first of its kind, and it's being introduced in our AR-1 gyroplane, and it'll become standard going forward for all our gyroplanes coming out in the market. So that's a big thing for gyroplane safety. I think gyroplanes are very safe aircraft, but they are different than airplanes. And the problem is, a lot of the learned behavior from airplanes, when you're not thinking and you kind of revert back to airplane, you're going to have problems. And that's what the GWS is for those moments where you forget or you just revert back to your primacy. It'll warn you by predictive analysis. So that's GWS. And AJ Sport, light sport airplane, that's the other thing that is happening with Aero Jones Aviation USA, the second company that I'm a principal at. So primary goals for AJ Sport is basically development of the light sport aircraft and the sales of it. If you look at the aircraft itself, you're going to see that it kind of looks a little bit like Flight Design CT. It's because it's based on that. Aero Jones is a Taiwanese company that we have partnered with, who bought the rights for Flight Design in 2016 when Flight Design went bankrupt. they were not allowed to come back to the US or European market. They were restricted to Pacific market till they made major changes. That's where we come in, because we basically help them do all those major changes that allowed them to bring the unit back as a different model in the US market. So we control the design here in the US. We get the composite parts made in Taiwan. They come here, and then we assemble them in the US, right here in Zephyr Hills, Florida. So the design, the support, the continued airworthiness, and the certificate is held by Aero-Jones Aviation USA, my company. The parts, composite parts especially, are all manufactured in Taiwan, and they come over from that. The price point of the aircraft, it's a proven base design, but the changes are actually improving the design and making it more solid. There were vapor lock issues, some other issues that we found in the original design, German design, that we have solved. The wing is different. The tail is slightly different, but mainly the fuel system as well as the electronics are completely different. The aviation standard for general aviation wiring that was not, I believe, in the previous design is in this one. And the price point, we are trying to keep it introduction at $175,000 with BRS, with dual screen Dynon HDX, and with dual axis autopilot. So everything, all said and done, SLSA at 175. So it's a pretty interesting and pretty competitive price introduction. Believe that after the first batch of orders, we're going to go to about 195 or 198,000 is what we are thinking. But right now, the price point, introductory price point, at 175 with the BRS. And you can order it without the BRS, which is a $10,000 option. So that's something new in the light sport world. We are looking for flight schools to actually targeting more flight schools for this and seeing how that goes. We believe that there's a lot of value this plane can provide to flight schools. We are based, again, in Zephyr Hills. All the support, all the sales and everything is going to happen right from Zephyr Hills, Florida. So it would be from the US. Okay. And if you guys want to get some more information, come and see us in LP 27 and 29. That's where we are. Thank you.
All right, welcome to Lakeland, Florida and Sun and Fun 2025. As you guys know, Gene kicked it off pretty good right here. What happened? Anyway, I'm not sure what's going on back there, but I'll talk for 5 minutes, why not? I got a company we created, ATCFO. It stands for Air Traffic Control Future Operators. As everybody in here knows, there's a shortage of air traffic controllers. Travis Technical College and Bartow Executive Airport have been working for about 5, maybe even longer, years to try to get an air traffic control program at Bartow Executive Airport. Well, we finally started it. We had our academy. We have 3 students going right now. It just started at the beginning of March. We'll start a new class every month, and we will do our best to help overcome the air traffic control shortage in the country. Something a lot of people don't know about air traffic control is you can get hired as an air traffic controller over the age of 31. There is no upper age limit unless you're working directly for the FAA. There are 265 federal contract towers in the United States of America right now. That's where we're going to place all of our graduates. And Lakeland, right here, happens to be one of those federal contract towers that I was talking about around the country. I'm not even going to look at that slide thing anymore, sorry. I'll look at you and tell me when my time's up. How's that sound? All right, so anyway, we have a 10-month program. In order to work in the federal contract tower program, you have to have at least 6 months experience working local control. If you don't know what local control is, that's when you pilots call the tower. That's the tower controller is local controller. They have to have at least 6 months 6 months experience working local control as a certified controller. That's why our program is so long. We can train them in about 4 months, but then they have to get their 6 months experience in Bartow Tower. So if any of you guys have an airport that doesn't have a tower involved in the federal contract or the FAA, I would love to talk to you because we need more airports. Because just at Bartow alone, we can only push 4 students through a month legally because of the currency time that every graduate would need for those 6 months. So the more airports we get here in Florida that I'm trying to get, the more students we can get through to push for air traffic controllers. And we also created this to the FAA, you know, they call themselves the big leagues for air traffic control, and then they say well, the military is over here, and then the federal contract towers are kind of like the stepchild of the FAA air traffic controllers. I'm trying to change that, and I want to have the FCT company as a stepping stone into the FAA. So our graduates will come out of ours, they already have 6 months experience, then they're going to get more experience at towers just like Lakeland, working commercial traffic, working every other kind of flights that you can work before they get hired into the FAA. So all of our graduates will come out of with at least 1.5 years experience as an air traffic controller before they work for the FAA. And that takes a lot of time off those CTI schools that they have, 30 some of them in the country. Well, you can go to school for 2 years or 4 years and get your degree that the FAA has approved through those CTI programs if you didn't know. But our program, we will fast track them, we'll get them working and talking to airplanes faster than any of those organizations can do it. So if you're into air traffic controllers, if you like air traffic controllers, please push for our air traffic control program down in Bartow, Florida. Love you guys. Keep flying.
All right, good afternoon. I have the most exciting announcement of the day. I've been told to announce that the bar and the hors d'oeuvres are open. And I don't know if it's Taco Tuesday. I think that's tomorrow, but maybe there's some pie back there. I'm not sure. Please help yourself to the bar and the food back there as of now. So, good afternoon, everybody. I'm JJ Frigge. I'm president of Hartzell Propeller in Piqua, Ohio, and I have a lot of great product news to talk about today. So if I talk fast, please come and see us at our booth this week. If you have questions, a whole bunch of this material is in the presentation, and there's some supplemental things in the appendix that you'll get afterwards for the media. So just as a reminder, Hartzell Propeller is part of Hartzell Aviation, which also includes our sister companies, Hartzell Engine Technology down in Montgomery, Alabama, and Hartzell Aerospace Welding up in the Twin Cities area, Eagan, Minnesota. And as of about 1.5 years ago, we're now part of Signia Aerospace, which is really exciting because I'm not going to read the vision and mission there, but really the point here is that Signia and Hartzell Aviation and Hartzell Propeller and all the other operating companies are very well aligned around investing in technology, investing in innovation, and making sure that we are putting our best foot forward for general aviation. So, you know, we could continue to credential ourselves at Hartzell Aviation around prioritizing quality, performance, and support. We think that's what pilots and the aviation industry care about, and that's what we're focused on, laser focused on when we bring new products to market and we continue to invest in our portfolio of products. So when we think about Hartzell and Signia Aerospace, what we're doing is we're continuing to enhance the capability of GA by innovating and investing. And really it's threefold. It's portfolio acquisition, so we've done a bit of acquiring over the past 12, 14 months. We're doing a lot of automation and facilities investments. We're in the final stages of opening up our new 150,000 square foot Composite Innovation Center in Piqua for our composite production line, as well as our factory service center. And we're doing a whole host of product development, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. So on the product innovation side, Hartzell Engine Tech, again, in Alabama, they've just launched a PMA product for it's called the S20, S200 series Magneto. It's really broadly utilized on the Cirrus SR22 airframe as well as Robinson platforms. It's available through HET's distribution network, and they expect some more PMAs later this year. So that's a pretty exciting product line extension that we think the market will really enjoy. And then on the Hartzell Propeller side, we've got a whole host of propeller innovation that we've brought to market over the last 12 months. So just to name a few, we've got the Whip Air Caravan which we call the Yukon. This is a 25% shorter takeoff roll and no loss in cruise speed. So this thing is an absolute monster in takeoff and climb. And Whip Air obtained their STC right around Oshkosh time of last summer and really have been selling these extremely well so far. So 20-pound weight savings, 25% shorter takeoff roll. Pretty amazing. Continuing on the portfolio side for Hartzell Propeller, we're really excited about this one. Game Composites, a great American company that's making really cool aerobatic airplanes. We just STC'd onto that airframe a 3-blade carbon fiber prop we call the Talon, and it's 77.5 inches, about 240 feet shorter takeoff roll, 100 feet a minute better climb rate, and we just had our first PIREP from one of our initial STC customers, and he's reporting 5 or 6 knots faster in cruise. Really great STC, and it's available for the entire fleet of Gamebird GB1s coming off the factory line as well as the retrofit. Moving on, one of our best performing props over the last 5 years has been the Voyager, which is a metal 3-blade prop on the Cessna 180, 182, 185 series. Well, we just STC'd a carbon version of that we call the Carbon Voyager. It's available from 80 to 86 inches depending on the airframe and the gear configuration. It's a whole host of engines, and it's 54 pounds total weight, which is about 20 pounds lighter than the metal. It's really smooth and very solid performer, increased takeoff and climb performance, and really great prop for that Skywagon series. Moving on to the Aviat Husky, we just STC'd the Pathfinder, which is a 3-blade carbon fiber prop, 80-inch diameter and a little under 50 pounds, 15% shorter takeoff roll, and 20% increase in climb. Again, a great performer, and excited to bring that again to not just the STC market with the installed base of Huskies, but the production line as well, coming out of Afton. Moving on, this is one just we need to talk about for a minute. This is on the Carbon Cub UL, so everyone knows what Cubs Crafters is doing with their UL, with the Rotax 916. This is our type designed propeller for that installation. Both the retention system, which we call the Falcon retention system, as well as the blade, which we're calling the Kestrel, are both brand new and in certification right now. So we do have our ASTM compliance so that our friends at Cub Crafters can start putting these on their airplanes, and we're in type certification testing now in Piqua with some additional blade designs to follow so that we can continue to version this out for the Rotax series of engines. Really cool product, 20 pounds total weight, which is by far our lightest system that we've ever done. This is the prop, we're talking about the Mooney M20 A through G and J. With the Outlaw, it's a 2-blade, essentially the blended airfoil in a carbon version, 74 inches, 20 pounds lighter than the metal, and best-in-class performance for the Mooney. This is the prop we had a naming contest last year at Oshkosh. We see when we name props, we do better. I don't know, we sell more of them. So this is called the Outlaw. I'm not sure if that particularly fits with the Mooney crowd, but I think it's a cool prop. We also put this carbon blended airfoil on the RV. This is our RV10 in Piqua. Really great performer, 20 pounds lighter than metal, and it's available on the 390, 360 stock engines and a couple different diameters. And our friends at Redline also are big fans of this prop.
I'm Ken Reeder. I'm Austin Reeder. And we're Redline Air Shows. What we found is rather than chasing horsepower or more power out of the engine, chase after a better propeller. I had other propellers at the beginning, but the Hartzell seemed to be the one that I didn't have to worry about, and that's the propeller I want to fly behind.
Cool. So Ken and Austin are here this week, and we're continue to work on some programs with them. And what I really want to say is that, You know, we've been in a kind of a 20-year cycle of really investing in carbon fiber and composite technology. You can call it a revolution, call it an evolution, but everything that you just saw program-wise is all around carbon fiber technology and new innovation, new STCs and TCs we bring into market. So just want to really say that we've got a lot invested in this technology. We're continuing to push the limits on how we can get better performance out of an airplane and type design that for the specific mission. So there's a link here. It's also in the PowerPoint you'll get later. It takes you to our white paper on composites. The point is not all composites are made the same, right? Carbon fiber is vastly different than kind of the wood core competition, and we want to make sure that folks know that when you're investing with us, you're investing in the latest technology, and you're going to get a great value. So come see us this week. We're in Hangar Bravo 34 to 40. All of our Hartzell Aviation companies, as well as our new sister company, Cleveland Wheel and Brake, you can come see us under the Hartzell banners and the Signia Aerospace banners. All right, thanks a lot.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jim Turner. I'm the general manager of Kelly Manufacturing Company. We're in Wichita, Kansas. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about going digital with RC Allen Instruments. Back in 2008, we introduced the 2600. It looked a lot like our original units. And it was long, and the electromechanical, it just basically fit in the same spot, and you could plug it in with the same plug. But it was the very first certified standalone digital attitude indicator. Then the first update, we made a new compact body, which that compact body today is the same thing we have in all of our units. It's only about 2 inches long with the connector on it. The next generation was the 2610. Basically what the 2610 gave you is digital slip indicator. It gave you digital rate of turn. It gave you pitch sync. It gave you internal backup battery option. It updated the electronics and enhanced the graphics on the unit, so it made it much cleaner and with very little segmentation on the lines. It comes in 2 and 3 inch as well. Then we introduced the 1510 digital heading indicator. Ground track and magnetic heading available on this unit. Customizable options. Internal backup battery option, and an internal magnetometer. We are still the only company out there right now that can put in an internal magnetometer. You don't have to look any place in the aircraft to put a magnetometer. It's a one-time setup, and we do it in the air. That's the nice thing about our unit, and we've been very successful since we've had this unit. And it has GPS inputs available as well. The next unit that we came out with is back in 2022 was the Mini 6. It's an all-in-one instrument. It's attitude, it's heading, it's altimeter, it's airspeed, it's vertical speed, it's turn and slip. And the nice thing about it is it's basically power and ground, pedostatic, and you're done. You don't have to add anything else to it, or you don't have to get into anybody else's product to make it work. Now we would like to introduce the new 8310 digital turn and bank turn coordinator. Yes, turn coordinator and turn and bank. We like to say it's 2 instruments in one. The turn and bank actually is 3 separate instruments you can have in it. It can switch from a 2-minute turn, 4-minute turn with dog houses and without dog houses. And it also has a turn coordinator that you can switch from one to the other on startup of the aircraft. You cannot do it in the air. We've had a lot of people that have flight schools like to get these units, and they'll fly with turn coordinator for a week and switch it over to turn and bank indicator, and the pilots get a little confused. They do exactly the same thing, it's just mentally something different. We have optional displays, which I just talked about. We have 2 and 3 inch units. Nobody really has a 3-inch turn coordinator out there, so that's kind of the nice thing about it. It's available with internal battery backup as well. And the cool thing about the turn coordinator is it will actually tie into legacy autopilots. We've actually tied into some digital autopilots as well. So if you have an old legacy autopilot that needed the turn coordinator, our unit can do that. So what we have here is going digital is easy with RC Allen Instruments. Easy to install, power and ground basically on most of them. Fits in standard panel cutout. You don't have to add anything or take anything away from your panel. And we even give you the screws and the plugs. Multi-voltage, works from basically 9 to 32 volts, so you don't have to worry about the voltage of your aircraft. Reliable and solid state, FAA TSO. We are one of the only companies out there with every one of our products has full TSOs on it. So it makes it a little bit easier to install in any aircraft. And it's a 2-year limited warranty. What we like to say about what we like to say about RCL products is it's simple, safe, and certified. Come see us in Hangar D here, booth 18, or look us up online at www.kellymfg.com. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Clayton Wheaton. I am the Director of Sales for DirectFly USA. We are a SLSA ready-built and kit manufacturer built in Czech Republic. We're going to tell you today about some new features we're offering on the 2025 DirectFly Alto NG. First of all, we have a couple of exciting new engine options. We have been offering the 912 ULS since we offered the airplane for sale in the US 3 years ago now. And now we're offering the 912 IS, and this year we are offering the Edge Performance 120 horsepower normally aspirated engine as an option as well. We are really excited about the 120 horsepower option. We're getting good reports from that aircraft overseas at the manufacturer. They put some test flights on it. They're getting some very impressive climb performance out of it and a little bit more speed out of the airplane without a whole lot of penalty as far as fuel economy goes. A new big option for us this year is not an option, it's a standard feature. We're doing Behringer brakes as the standard braking system on the aircraft. My airplane, I have one of the original Alto NGs that we brought over to the US with the older braking system in it. And this new setup is a very large improvement, and we liked it so much, we're just making it a standard feature for 2025 and forward. Another option we're doing this year is you can think about a color scheme, we can pretty much offer it. We're doing 2 painted color options and then a 3rd color option in graphics, or factory calls it a foil option, decal option. We can do, if you have a paint code, we can match it, we can get it done overseas, and they do a great job. They have a full downdraft paint booth, and everything comes out looking absolutely stunning right out of the container and right into assembly. We offer a new instrument panel this year, a whole new structural design. It's a lot easier to install larger panels. We have a couple aircraft that we just brought into the US that have the dual Dyna HDX 1200 screens and still have plenty of room to put a 175 in the middle or any other radio stack that you might want to offer or equip the aircraft with. We do have a full Garmin suite option available as well. If you can think about it, we can make it happen as far as avionics go. And for repair and maintenance, we are offering a few different options this year for keeping flight schools and other flight clubs more equipped and better to keep the airplanes back on the flight line. We're stocking parts here in the USA. Scheduled maintenance is going to be a lot easier. We're going to offer kits. We have full maintenance kits available. If you're either a flight school, and we all know unexpected maintenance happens, students break things, things happen. So we have full kits that you can order in stock for that. And then we offer a complete selection of factory finish repair parts. So if you do end up having some hangar rash, like I said, things happen. Somebody pushes an aircraft into a hangar door. You just call us up with the serial number of the aircraft. We get the color painted on we get the paint put on the airplane, all color matched, and you're ready to go and get the aircraft back on the flight line again a lot quicker. If you want to come talk to us more, come see us at booth LP62 in the Light Plane Mall. Again, LP62, my name is Clayton Wheaton. Thank you guys very much. Have a good day.
Hello, my name is Ash Vidge. Let me get this going here. From Guardian Avionics. As you guys know a little bit about us, that we've been in the business for about 25 years, and we're famous for our CO detectors. Where our CO detectors are standard in all the new Cessna, Cirrus, Diamond, Piper, all the OEMs. And then we also, about 5 years ago, we started coming out with the iPad mounts. So you're starting a lot to see that with airplanes that have like a Garmin G3X on the left side. And on the right side, you got an empty panel. So this is nice that you can put a nice iPad mount and you have a multi-MFD display that, almost for practically very little cost in aviation terms. You have a nice iPad mount with the built-in air and USB charging all in one slide-in. And then this year we have come out with a couple little things here. We've been getting a lot of requests for putting an iPhone in because everybody flies with an iPhone. And so let me just go to the next slide. Sorry about that. And we just got a little better here now. We've got the new mounts that just slide right in, right here, just as you can see. And then they're charging in the back. And I'll show you on the next picture here that this can also charge in the back, so it's all fully enclosed, NORSI certified unit that you can attach it, and then you have a full iPad mount in the aeroplane with the displays here. Let's see if I get the displays here. I guess we missed one slide here. But with the displays right here, as you can see, to take it out is very simple also, and it's held in by the magnetic of the charging. And then also for the people that want to really do aerobatics and all that, we also sell a locking system that you can install so your iPhone won't go if you go upside down or something. So if you would like to get some more information on our existing iPad mounts, our USB chargers, and our CO detectors, come and see us in Hangar B57. And thank you very much.
Well, hello. My name is Drew McEwen, and I'm with Aero. We're a new generation aircraft manufacturer that's based in Toulouse, France. And what I'm here to do is just give you an overview of the company and tell you about a big announcement that we're doing this week here at Sun & Fun. So while we've been at it since 2018, we are building a 2-seat aircraft that's aerobatic, as well as one for fight schools. The aerobatic's a tail dragger, the fight school is a nose wheel. And we're also producing in our upcoming 19-passenger hybrid electric regional airliner. And so that's really exciting news for the decarbonization in aviation that we want to deliver on in 2028 to 2029. We've got over 270 employees today. And we do have now one certified airplane that we're announcing here today. You can look at our footprint. We've got 75,000 square feet today. However, we will be up to 1.5 million square feet in about 4 to 5 years in 3 locations throughout the world. But what's really exciting is we've got our Integral R that is a full aerobatic airplane here at our display at Sun & Fun, and we've just recently had EASA certification, and we're expecting FAA certification this summer or this fall. This airplane has a Lycoming 210 horsepower engine. It's got Garmin Avionics and a Hartzell propeller. It's also got a airframe recovery parachute. This aircraft is really the newest generation and the newest aircraft, Part 23, being built for aerobatic training. And again, as I indicated, we right now are producing this airplane in Toulouse, France, but we do have our first hangar in the U.S. in Daytona Beach, where we'll be bringing the airplanes over for delivery into the U.S. market. However, long term, we will be building airplanes here, as well as our 19-seat hybrid electric regional aircraft. Exciting news, we've got Michael Goulian that is representing us and flying our aircraft along with Steve Fiegel. Steve is here with us in the crowd today. He's one of the partners, the team members at Michael Goulian Aviation. And you know, they're very passionate about aerobatics, they're very passionate about flight and great performing airplanes. And they've been flying this airplane and just love the performance that the French have built into this airplane. So let's see if I can get
Taking runway 24 for departure for the first flight of the interval arm.
So we have information on the integral R, which you've seen there, as well as the integral E and the S. The E is our electric version, which we actually had our first flight in December of this year over in Toulouse, France. And our S model, we expect to have EASA certification this year. So we've got 3 integral models that we're happy to talk about, as well as our ERA regional airliner. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Tom Harper with Avidyne. And I'm going to push the button. There we go. And today I just want to give an update on our Vantage12 system and the upgrade that we're doing for the Cirrus. We're taking these old Integra equipped Cirruses, there are many of them, and bringing them forward with modern technology. Vantage12 provides 12-inch glass, which is huge. Doesn't fit in a lot of airplanes, but in a Cirrus it fits nicely. Touch screens and hybrid touch, so we got knobs and buttons plus touch. Synthetic vision is something these airplanes don't have yet. We're talking airplanes from 2002 to about 2008 that are all Integra equipped. And the big one for them is dual redundant AHRS, so they can fly through a PFD failure and not even disconnect the autopilot. So it's very tightly integrated with our IFDs and our DFC-90 autopilot. Again, over 4,000 of these airplanes are candidates for Vantage12. And has standard configuration will be dual IFDs, which are very popular out in the rest of the market as well, but many of our Cirrus owners have already upgraded to IFDs, and a DFC-90, which is an upgrade to the S-Tech autopilot from the old 55X. And then, of course, displays. The 10-inch displays come out and the 12-inch glass goes in. We've developed an easy install kit that makes it super quick to transfer from the 10-inch glass to the 12-inch glass. Between the easy adapter harness and these little easy adapters, there's only 8 wires to hook up in the airplane, plus power to the new air data computers. So everything else is already pre-wired. And we provide our own panels as well that are pre-cut for dealers to make that transition easier. You can see here everything just plugs into the adapters and you're on your way. And within a week you can turn this airplane. Assuming you've got IFDs and DFC already done, which a lot of them do. But compared to what's out in the market for those folks, this is a really unique and highly capable upgrade for that fleet of aircraft. The IFDs are connected via high-speed data bus to the big glass displays, so they're sharing all the information, including flight plan and GPS position, of course. And this is what it looks like in full color. It's a beautiful display. We have it in our booth. I invite you to come by and see us. As far as certification, we're doing an ASTM approval on this, so we're excited, working very closely with the FAA. Expecting early May deliveries, but that's not guaranteed. We've submitted all the paperwork, but there's still, you know how that works. We're starting our initial clean install. We've done a few of them for development, but we bought a G3 2007. We'll make the conversion in the first couple weeks of May. And hopefully by the time that rolls out, we've got an ASTM cert. And we're going to have designated dealers doing the early installs to make sure we've ironed out all the bugs, et cetera, in the conversion, and then we'll roll it out to the wider distribution of dealers later in the year. We're in Hangar C. I invite you to come visit us and spin the knobs, touch the screens, and have a great show, everybody. So long.
Drink it. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Don Fielden, owner of Fielden Aero. I started this business after retiring from the Air Force about 5 years ago. Our first product is the Australian bush plane called the Aeropup. I name it Aeropup USA. We also manufacture a purpose-built STOL aircraft for an American company called North American Eagle. Both of us are out in the light plane area. But the reason I'm here today is because I also became, just last month, the exclusive U.S. dealer for a new line of digital flight instrumentation system from an Italian company called Flybox Avionics, made out of Italy. So I'll tell you more about the instruments here in just a second, but we started getting requests for these avionics from some of our kit builders. On the Aeropup side, and for a hobby, I used to design and build these electronic flight instrumentation systems. So, doing some research here, came across Flybox Avionics, and the infrastructure, the architecture they use, the computing architecture they use in their avionics resembled what I was using in my design. So I thought, well, heck, this must be pretty darn good then. Somebody else is agreeing with me. So we signed the relationship with Flybox. And now just a little bit about Flybox. They've been in the avionics business for 20-something years, very popular in Europe. Thousands of these avionics are installed in all sorts of their version of experimental and ultralight aircraft throughout Europe. So I'm the first one to introduce these things to the USA. The instruments are kind of similar to what we've seen here in the US. Other than they are very lightweight, small form factor, the same computing platform in each of these avionics. So what makes each instrument different from another is simply the software that's inside of these things. So now you get a very low-cost production process to produce some very highly capable instrumentation. Yeah, okay, and then so here's a highlight. I'm not going to go through all these instruments. I'm just going to introduce them to you and then ask you to come out to my booth in the light sports, and I'll demonstrate all these things for you. We have all these instruments out on display. The purpose of this chart is to let you know that the line of instrumentation that we offer through the Flybox is the full range, where you want modern version of the old round steam gauges, all the way up to the more complicated electronic flight instrumentation system that does it all. And what's a little bit unique about Flybox is because of the development process I described earlier, the price point is very attractive, again, for the light experimental home-built market. And it ranges from the simple round steam gauge instruments all the way up to the fully integrated idle pilot with the electronic flight instrumentation system. One of the more popular products we're having out here is what's called the APR-1 prop controller. This one instrument I want to talk to you about. This enables you to control an in-flight variable pitch prop from inside the airplane. And this device here truly gives you one lever engine control. All you have is a throttle. This thing takes care of the prop control for you. You don't worry about anything else. And it's a programming feature. I can't walk to the chart, but you look in the lower right-hand screen there. We go in and we can configure this prop controller to the exact flight characteristics you want with your airplane. The variables we program in there are a function of your indicated airspeed and your manifold pressure, as well as your desired engine RPM, depending on the flight envelope you're in at the particular time. And the hook is coming out for me, so let me speed up. We also have the simple side from flap controllers, where you can preset your flap positions in one switch and drops you down through each of the locations you want to go to. This product here, this is our most complex product. The electronic flight instrumentation system talks to other components in your avionics bus via CAN bus. And this is one instrument that can take care of all the VFR flight systems that you need, as well as engine monitoring. And I'll wrap it up there. I thank you to Jim Campbell and Aero-News Network and Sun and Fun for letting me introduce this line of products to you. And I encourage you to come out to the Field and Aero booth, LP60, over in Paradise City. Thank you.
My name is Jim Campbell, CEO and Editor-in-Chief of the Aero-News Network, and the poor fool that has been convinced that we need to put an effort into a new winter fly-in, but this time using the best sport aviation facility in the Southeast, specifically the FUN Aerospace Expo campus. For some reason, when I see event organizer, organized anything at this point is way off base, but we'll get there. My compliments to Nathan Cremasino for putting that together. And by the way, he, Holland, Tom, and a whole bunch of other really cool folks are behind all the work you see here. And if you get a chance, tell them thank you. After a number of consults with our friends at Lakeland, final decision was reached for the debut of the first Affordable Flying Expo. Those disappointed by the loss of both the Sebring and DeLand Sport Aviation fly-ins can rest easy now that the Affordable Flying Expo is finally and officially on the books for November 6th, 7th, and 8th of 2025. The Affordable Flyer Expo will boast plenty of opportunities to inspect aircraft, getting shoppers up close and intimate with new aircraft as they navigate the lengthy purchase process. It will also offer an exceptionally strong opportunity for mosaic issues to be explained, discussed, and utilized if we ever get the bloody rule. It's hard enough as is to canvass a whole category of aircraft and settle on one particular airplane after judging all its competitors. But it's near impossible to be content with a purchase without a whole lot of test flying beforehand. The Expo will fix that by giving pilots a nice, low-pressure, enthusiast-focused event with room to breathe. The Expo is for the people and pilots above all. It's a chance to get away from some of the dull, chilly months and hopefully find the perfect fit of fun and function for everyone who likes the affordable side of aviation. And let me make this clear, we are dedicated to grassroots. The Affordable Flyer Expo is still growing quickly, gathering exhibitors, manufacturers, educators, and experts to make it the go-to for all things sport plane next November. Some exceptional benefits programs are being compiled to give exhibitors excellent bang for their bucks, as well as creating an atmosphere that promotes their ability to reach out to the aviation or the wannabe aviation community. Whether you miss the warm climate, the spacious facilities, or the endless rows of aircraft at Sun Fun, the Expo will be a great antidote to the winter doldrums. We're trying to make it simple. We're trying to make it accessible. We're trying to make it heavily educational. Lots of hands-on. No crazy air show, no crazy flying. Lots of demos. Lots of opportunities to go one-on-one. We'll be using Hangar A and Hangar B, see if we need it. Those will be about 60 booths apiece, plus forum areas. We'll be doing educational workshops, how to build, how to adapt, how to install. And to make a long story short, we are looking for all the suggestions you have for what you think would make a perfect winter fly-in. And while perfect may be a little hard for us to attain, I think we can do a pretty darn good job because I got the best team in the business behind me. We thank you much. Hopefully, see you November 6th.
Hello, I'm Steve Bozer, Managing Partner and Director of Sales and Marketing at Sensenich. I'm going to give a presentation on premier propellers for light sport, experimental, and general aviation. First, just how do you pronounce our company name? Sensenich, Old St. Nick. We don't care what you call us, just call us. So a quick little overview of Sensenich. We've been manufacturing props for over 95 years. We got our big start making props for Piper Cubs, Aronkas, Taylor Crafts. We also make metal props and composite props. And while we originally started in Pennsylvania, we're now solely based here in Central Florida, both in Lakeland and in Plant City. So today's focus is on our composite ground adjustable propellers for maximum versatility. We started building composite propellers back in the late 1990s. The adjustable pitch allows you to fine-tune the prop load to the engine torque and the aircraft mission. That gives you the flexibility to change the pitch from cruise to climb as needed. And we also provide simple, easy-to-use gauges to set each blade angle for most of our models. So we have STOL and sport props for light sport and experimentals. The STOL market has been really, really hot the past 5 years. And we have a large line of props both for Lycomings, Continentals, UL Powers, many of those engines. But we also have sport blades too for many tractor and pusher configurations. So now we can bring that over to certified composite propellers. It's something we worked on for over 5 years. We got FAA certification in 2022. We have an 82-inch two-blade adjustable pitch prop that saves weight and gives you extra performance. And we have current STCs both for the PA-18, PA-12, and the PA-14. And that prop is also eligible for other aircraft of similar performance. And this is our big news. We now have a Cessna 172 STC with a composite prop. It's a two-blade, 76-inch diameter adjustable pitch prop. Works on any of the 180 horsepower Lycoming series engines, O360 and IO360. The median pitch, there's several pitches that you get with each prop, but the median pitch has been shown to have better takeoff and climb performance, and has good cruise too. It saves 13 pounds off the OEM weight, and it includes a new carbon fiber spinner. So what's next for Sensenich? We have more STCs coming for other models of Cessnas. So we're looking at the older Cessnas with the Continental engines. We're also looking very strongly at Piper. It's a huge gold mine there. And other popular aircraft. We also have a new propeller family in certification for those classic aircraft under 120 horsepower, including both Continental powered and Lycoming 0235. And we're still very busy making wood props and metal props for the classic, the experimental, and the flight training markets. And we're supporting new eVTOL projects that are in development. We do quite a bit of prototyping for a lot of those efforts out there. So the Sensenich propeller brands include both our classic wood props, our composite props, and we're here in Florida. It's what brought us here back in 1994, were the airboat props. If you have any questions, we're in Hangar Alpha, booth number 32. Come see us.
Good afternoon. I thought we were all showing up in suits. No? Okay. Hi, I'm Ryan Jeff, Chief Instructor of the Part 141 program at Gleim Aviation, and I'm excited to announce a groundbreaking new product in the aviation training industry. For those of you who have a pilot's license, how many of you remember your first check ride? Yep. Me too. It's a high-pressure moment, isn't it? In our assessment of pilot candidates, we found that many failed their check ride in the oral portion, even after they've passed their knowledge test because of nerves. It's a very different experience when you have a DPE who's going to notice when you aren't confident in your answer or that your answer is only partially complete. Articulating your aviation knowledge is a completely different skill. The team at Gleim has watched AI products roll out in other industries and thought, what if you could practice, really practice, for your oral exam at home? And what if you received immediate constructive coaching from an expert, showing you exactly how to strengthen your answers?
Introducing the Gleim Digital Pilot Examiner, Auto. Meet Auto, the best way to practice for your oral exam so you can ace your check ride. With Auto, you can practice answering questions the same way you will when you're evaluated by an FAA examiner, out loud, in real time.
What are the characteristics of unstable air?
There's turbulence in unstable air.
If you don't provide the full answer, Auto even coaches you to the answer the examiner is looking for.
That's a good start. Turbulence is indeed a characteristic of unstable air. Can you think of any other characteristics?
When you're on your check ride, your examiner is going to make sure you know how to operate your aircraft effectively, efficiently, and safely. If you don't answer confidently, they're going to notice and ask you some follow-up questions. So that's why building your confidence with Auto will ensure you're prepared for the oral check ride. For over 45 years, pilots across America have relied on Gleim to pass their FAA knowledge tests. The Gleim DPE builds on the comprehensive ACS coverage in the Red Book's pilots trust, reshaping it into an interactive, conversational practice experience unlike anything else.
What does a power on stall simulate?
It simulates what would happen if the pilot raised the nose too high.
That's a good start. But there's another important factor that a power on stall simulates. Think about what happens to the aircraft's speed during a takeoff or go-around.
For every question, practice verbalizing your answers with Auto before being presented with the FAA referenced answer on screen to help reinforce your knowledge. Your check ride isn't multiple choice. This is practice how it should be: conversational, comfortable, and realistic. So prepare to ace your check ride with Auto, your personal digital pilot examiner from Gleim Aviation.
What'd you think? Pretty cool? Yeah. As you've just seen, the Gleim Digital Pilot Examiner doesn't just quiz you, it really simulates what this part of the check ride is really like. And we believe it's going to significantly improve pass rates, which will be game-changing for the industry. I wish I was available when I was preparing for my check ride because I had to practice in front of a mirror. But I think the Gleim DPE is way better. It's the first of its kind, and it's a groundbreaking tool that's going to help a lot of learners. I'm Ryan Jeff from Gleim Aviation. Lori Gleim, our CEO, is here. Garrett Gleim, our president. Mike LaFortune from Call Simulator, and our team at Gleim. Please stop by our booth. We're at C40, and we're really excited to talk to you about all our products, like the Gleim DPE, the Gleim BATD being released with X-Plane 12, and our new and improved online ground school for Part 141 with Crosscheck, which is our brand new record-keeping platform. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamel Larkins, and I've had the privilege of knowing the vast majority of the people inside of this room for quite some time. For the majority of you, I got the chance to meet you shortly after I turned 14 and became one of the youngest American pilots to fly a powered airplane solo in Canada. Since then, I've had the opportunity to work with the Federal Aviation Administration as their ambassador for aviation and space education. And in that capacity, I've traveled around the country and I've spoken to over 1,000 schools and reached over 60,000 students to talk to them about their career opportunities inside of the aviation industry. And I'm proud to report that we've had some pretty good success. Some aviation universities have reported a 70% increase in applications after a Dream Launch Tour has stopped at their particular schools. And that's actually pretty important when you stop to think about the fact that almost 50% of all airline pilots inside the United States will become eligible to retire in slightly more than a decade. And some forecasts are showing that we should have a pilot shortage approaching 30,000 people as early as 2030. Because of that, and a few conversations I had with the Federal Aviation Administration late last year, we decided to relaunch the Dream Launch Tour in 2025. But this time, we're gonna do it a little bit different. One significant advantage of it is that we're gonna introduce a program called Aviation Start. But before I go there, I wanna tell you a little bit about the tour. We're gonna be hitting 20 cities in 2025, and Sun and Fun is the very first stop on the Dream Launch Tour. But this time, we have support from almost all of the aviation community, which means that we have most of the aviation outreach programs on site after the Dream Launch Tour. So as soon as we get students excited about their opportunities inside of the aviation industry, we have different partners from all across the industry that's going to be there to be able to help guide them into whatever segment of the industry that they're interested in getting involved in. But we all know that just getting involved in inspiring students about their opportunities inside the aviation industry isn't going to be enough. The biggest thing that is the deterrent that stopping most people from getting involved inside the aviation industry is cost. And I'm really happy to announce Aviation Start. Aviationstart.org just went live today. It is the largest, most comprehensive resource for any student or aspiring aviation professional to find funding to be able to achieve their wildest dreams inside of the aviation industry. We have searched the country from major aviation associations to small groups to find the largest, most comprehensive listing of scholarships that are currently available. And I'm proud to announce that there's over $20 million worth of funding that's given out every single year to people to be able to start their dreams. Everything from free type ratings to advanced pilot training to just being able to even get your private pilot's license. And the best part about it is it's completely free. So please check out aviationstart.org and find the resource available for you. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm a little shorter. Hey, thank you guys so much for coming. It's really nice to see the support there is for general aviation. I'm really impressed by all of the innovative new companies and to see that general aviation is really alive and well. I'm Paul, the Director of Sales and Marketing at Flight Club. We help support general aviation owners and aircraft pilots, trying to make it more accessible for them. And this is Isan. He's our attorney, which is why I got to speak first. Otherwise, it would take a lot longer.
Thanks, Paul. I'm also the co-founder of Flight Club. And before we get into the innovation that we're going to present to you, that we're bringing to the market, we're just going to give you a little bit of background because Flight Club's kind of new in the market. So we basically help airplane owners get more utilization out of their aircraft by finding qualified pilots who are interested in using their airplanes nearby them. On average, general aviation airplanes fly 40 hours a year, which is terrible for the airplane owners. It's terrible for the engines, leads to a lot of corrosion. And on the flip side, there's all these pilots who would love to have access to aircraft nearby them that they can take for longer missions rather than the 1 hour every 3 weeks that they might get at a local flying school. So we built Flight Club, and we've got about 150 listings now. The vast majority of those are actually here in Florida, as that's a target market for us.
There's a little bit of older data, so I think there's actually 27 or 30 in Florida. There's quite a few in Texas and New York, and a bunch in Canada.
So the way it works is we facilitate the application process. A pilot would send their information to the aircraft owner in terms of like the number of hours they've flown, the number of hours on type, what they're looking to do with the aircraft. We facilitate the connection between the pilot and the CFI that the owner has approved. And so the pilot goes for a check flight because we want to make sure that they're safe. We want to make sure that they know how to operate the aircraft in the airspace that they're in, and that the owner is happy that they're handing over their baby to somebody who will take care of it just as their own. And so the pilots go flying, and the owners get to offset their fixed expenses.
So there's a number of ways an owner can earn revenue. They can do block time. They can charge their members a membership fee. They can even do just ad hoc hours where you can go up and rent and then pay once you land.
I forgot to mention the first rule about Flight Club is you have to tell everyone about Flight Club. The L makes a big difference. So for those of you who know Fight Club, we're not Fight Club, we're Flight Club. So the innovation that we want to present to you today is one of the challenges that we often had was with insurance, okay? Insurance had limitations in terms of the number of pilots that could get approved under a policy, ambiguities in terms of whether this kind of aircraft sharing was allowed under certain policies. And so what we've implemented and have been adding aircraft to our policies, we have a central fleet policy. And aircraft owners get to add their planes to our policy. And so it's unlimited pilots. We've got $1 million of liability coverage. The pilots need to go through our approval process, but this is simply just to make it easier so that that one barrier is now out of the way through what we're offering with Flight Club. Do you want to add anything else, Paul?
Yeah, there's some really cool aircraft if you're into aircraft, which I'm sure you all are. Check out flightclub.life. Come visit at NE 4748. There's Super Decathlon, SR22, a bunch of 150s, 182s, 172s, Moonies, everything you'd expect to see, and a little bit more. I think even in Austin, there's a Challenger 600. But thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you really enjoy this week, and I hope the weather stays nice for us.
Thanks, guys.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Skeeter Sherman, owner of Skeeter Enterprises. I make the Stadia series altimeters, which are LiDAR and radar-based AGL landing altimeters. I'll show you a quick video about how they work.
For pilots who demand precision, Skeeter Enterprises presents the Stadia series altimeters. The original Stadia, your trusted companion for accurate AGL measurements and perfect landings. And introducing Stadia Neptune, revolutionizing glassy water landings with state-of-the-art radar technology. The original Stadia uses a LiDAR for extreme accuracy, measuring the aircraft's height above the ground and transmitting the information to the Stadia app, where the pilot can choose to hear voice or tone notifications over their headset, allowing them to keep their eyes on what's important. Stadia Neptune is designed specifically with floatplane pilots in mind. By using a radar instead of a LiDAR, the airplane's altitude can be more accurately measured and passed on to the pilot, making glassy water landings safer and more reliable.
30, 20, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Stadia Neptune brings reliable altitude awareness not only to float flying, but also to ski flying, ensuring precise AGL readings over water and snow-covered terrain. Using its advanced radar, Neptune provides pilots with real-time altitude data, making landings more predictable in all seasons. Whether you're touching down on a remote lake in summer or a snowy backcountry strip in winter, Stadia Neptune enhances confidence and safety in every landing. Stadia's unique hardware allows it to be temporarily attached to virtually any aircraft. Instead of spending hours wiring connections or paying for an AMP to perform an installation, pilots can mount the Stadia altimeters to their aircraft themselves, whether it be a strut, a tie-down ring, or other hardpoints. As a result, no STCs are required for installation, making it available for practically every experimental and certified aircraft. An additional safety feature built into the Stadia app is an audible check gear alert for pilots.
Check gear.
Helping prevent deadly gear down landings on water or embarrassing gear up landings on land. Both the original Stadia and Stadia Neptune use the same Stadia app. The Bluetooth link from the Stadia altimeter to the pilot's smartphone lets the pilot use their phone to control the altimeter, as well as connect their headphones to hear the alerts while still allowing other apps like ForeFlight to be active. Simply attach Stadia to the aircraft, pair it to the phone using the Stadia app, and connect your headset to your phone. No subscription required. Stadia, the best solution for the best landings.
All right, thank you so much for watching that video. I'm Skeeter Enterprises. I'll be in booth N72, and I'll be at the back for anyone who wants to ask me some questions afterwards. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Christina, and I am the Director of Media Marketing for Bravo Fox. We are the official U.S. dealership for the Black Shape Aircraft Company, and I just want to say so much thanks to the team for having us. This is our first year here at Sun and Fun, and it's the first year that we are introducing the Prime to the United States. A little bit of history about the company. Black Shape was founded in 2011 in Monopoli, Italy, which, if you're familiar with the country, that's sort of on the heel of the boot. And there's a team of 45 people working at the factory over there. The original vision of the company was to usher in a new generation of composite aircrafts with Italian style and engineering. The first model that was manufactured was in fact the Prime, but that was with the 912 in 2012. The one that we have here is with the 915, and we will also be introducing the 916 IS in the United States with the Prime. We are located about 30 minutes north of Indianapolis at 5 I-4, which is Sheridan Airport. So to get into some details on the Prime, this is, in the US, an experimental aircraft. It's factory built at the factory in Italy. It's low wing, tandem, and as I mentioned, you can have the plane with the 912 IS, 915, and 916 IS. The avionics are fully configurable up to IFR for both Garmin and Dynon. The plane that we have currently here at the show is with Dynon Avionics. And of course, everything, because it's custom built from the factory, exterior, interior, you can have Alcantara seats, leather, whatever you like, basically. And what makes the plane especially unique for other composite planes in its class is that it is made with the autoclave process. So if you're familiar with the difference between autoclave versus wet layering, autoclave allows much more structural integrity to the plane versus wet layering when it comes to carbon fiber. So for performance and some technical details, the plane is 26-gallon standard, that's one we have here. We are also offering 34-gallon extended tanks, which will give you a range of 700 plus miles in economy cruise. Your maximum takeoff weight climb with the 915, you're looking around 1,650 feet per minute and 1,750 feet per minute with the 916. Your true airspeed is hovering around 165 with the 915 and 167 with the 916. And these are all based on the DULV certification, which is the German equivalency, basically, of the FAA. Now I want to show you a video, though, that is interesting to show the performance that we're experiencing. So this would be with myself and a pilot on board, as well as having almost full tank. So watch the rate of climb here in this video. So if you can see up in the top, we're hovering at around 2,100 or so feet per minute. So the performance on the plane is incredible, and it will maintain that all the way through the climb. This is the same flight, and I want you to please look at the true airspeed that we're hovering at, 181 knots there at 9,500. So, as I said, once you get in the plane, once you experience for yourself, you can really see what it does, and it's an incredible aircraft. For those who are watching later online, we also offer the Gabriel. And to summarize the Gabriel, it is essentially a larger version of the Prime, only comes in the 916 or the IO320. This is offered in certified or experimental. The Prime is just experimental. And it has similar performance, but it's more geared to, say, a flight school or for training purposes. So in summary, the Prime it's low maintenance. Anyone who knows the Rotax, great engines, it's fast, it's sporty. It's experimental. Depending on how FAA decides on Mosaic, it is currently Mosaic ready. So if they proceed with the same limitations, then we should be able to have that rating. And it's ideal for people who just want a fast plane, get around, go to A to B, and have a lot of fun. So this is where you can reach us. And we are over at booth 63 in Paradise City. So thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is David Withers, and I have the great pleasure of being the owner and the CEO of Microair Avionics. Avionics is based in Brisbane, Australia, and I suspect most of you would have flown something that had our equipment on it at some point. We've been making radios and transponders now for 25 years, or 26 years, sorry. We have over 25,000 of those flying and about 15,000 of those here in the US. We created the segment of very small radios and very small transponders. A couple of years ago, we decided it was time to reinvent the product line. And at Oshkosh last year, we launched the T3000 suite, which I'll talk a little bit more about, but it is a complete avionics suite. What we did is we took our radio and we shrunk it to a third of the size. We took our transponder, shrunk it to the third of the size, packed them together, and then packed a full navigation suite in with that. The spin-off from that, from feedback from Oshkosh, the T3000 is delivering and is selling well. The spin-off from that from Oshkosh was a standalone static probe system. And the feedback was that people wanted an angle of attack system, and we didn't have that in the core system. And our certified customers, I should say, all our radios and transponders have always been certified. The T3000 initially is LSA and experimental. But the feedback was that the certified guys wanted a quick way of getting some of our really bright displays into their aeroplanes. And the PSP was that. And I can say that literally as of today, we have received our FAA NORCE approval for that product. So I'll play a little video that explains what that is, and then we'll talk a bit more.
Presenting the T3000 Pitot, static, angle of attack and OAT probe with attitude and heading reference system from Microair Avionics, known as the T3000 Digital Pitot Static Probe. The fully integrated probe, containing an air data computer and an attitude and heading reference system, replaces any AN5812 Pitot probe, with no extra hardware or plumbing required. Use the supplied data harness, or the optional installation kit. The digital Pitot static probe provides airspeed, altitude, vertical speed, angle of attack, outside air temperature, attitude and heading, all visible on one or more T3000 SkySuite instrument displays. Featuring a 120-watt anti-icing heater, with digital temperature control, to ensure peak performance in all conditions. Use it as a NORCE backup air data system with angle of attack and an attitude and heading reference system in certified aircraft, or as a fully integrated component of the T3000 system for experimental and light sports aircraft. The Microair Digital Pitot Static Probe System. Speak to us about it today.
Great. So there it is. It just looks like any ordinary Pitot probe, inbuilt Pitot angle of attack static. And as we said, it's got an air data computer. It does have it can come with a tube, so if you want to keep your existing Pitot system, you can still have it, but otherwise everything is digital. You can then fit up to 32 instrument faces. Obviously you don't have 32 things to display, but you can fit it, and as many of these as you want to put on your panel, and each one can be configured. It's entirely software. They're all identical. It's entirely software then as to whether you configure it as an airspeed indicator, an altimeter, a vertical speed, or a combination. And you can see it there in the video in a recent installation in Jabiru in Australia. If I come quickly back to the T3000, as I said, this is sort of the big brother of what we've just talked about here just in the Pitot probe, because this also includes your VHF COM and your Mode S transponder with ADS-B in and out as well. So they're the products. We're in Bravo 90 and 91. We look forward to talking to you during the next couple of days at the show. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan Fogg. Here at Shoreline Manufacturing, we think of ourselves as an innovative company. It's fitting today. We had a local FBO come to us as a manufacturing firm and say, would you make for us a tug that's more flexible, universal? We need options. They didn't even really know what they were asking for. They just said, spitball some ideas back and see what you can come up with. Over about the last year in development, we've come up with the Wing Rover. A lot of times, as you guys may know, at any FBO, they've generally got at least two types of tugs. They've got a John Deere tractor with a tow bar, and they've got some other tug of some nature and brand. How do we marry those two? The maintenance on two tugs is terrible. SOPs can be problematic with two different style tugs. How do we keep things simple and concise? And that's where we really came up with this extension boom that you can get underneath propellers primarily. They're always the challenge. Getting under Pilatuses and other styles. You can do a lot of aircraft, but propeller aircraft can be really challenging. So we can get underneath, pick them up, move them around, come back in. We can do anything from a Global to a Pilatus to 172. So I would hate to say we can do every aircraft. I certainly don't know if we can, but I would like to think we're a lot more universal, simplistic, smart. We're up in Michigan, so we get a lot of snow. We've got dual tires up in front. We get a lot of traction issues in snow. When you guys are moving around big aircraft at slow speed, traction and high torque is really mandatory. We're trying to incorporate anywhere from a Florida market to a Michigan market. Our power boom is our uniqueness. It gives us a lot of flexibility in a lot of different areas. We'd love to show it. Any of you guys want to come and see it, we'd love to show it off. We've got some different capture techniques that are hands-free. We've got easy controls. We've got nice LCD displays. We're trying to just do some unique, clever aspects to an industry that's pretty mature. And if you want to see something new and clever, stop by. We're at booth 71. You guys might have other ideas. You guys are innovators here. This is what drives this group. It just drives our nation. If you guys have other clever ideas, come see Derek and I and Ben and run some ideas past us. We'd love to bounce them off you guys. Thanks so much.
I'm Ralph Hetcher, and I'm the inventor, Imagineer, founder, owner, what else am I? President, CEO of V1 Hats. And I'm not a real good public speaker, so what I wanted to do is bring my national sales director over, and he couldn't be here today. He's off over at the booth getting ready. So let me introduce you to Reggie Loftwell.
Hello and greetings from V1 Hats. I am Reggie Loftwell, National Sales Director. I want to introduce you to a hat designed by pilots for pilots that improves the performance of both passive and active noise reduction headsets. The hat I'm wearing and the hat I'm holding are just two samples of our original, first-in-kind, revolutionary line of patent-pending hats. We have low-profile and structured trucker-style hats. We have a hat for you. The V1 hat improves audio clarity, suppresses external engine noise, and makes long-term headset wear more comfortable. Ask us how it's done. I'm the gimmick. The V1 hats are the real deal. Don't be a dummy like me. Try one of our hats and hear, feel, and experience the difference. Satisfaction guaranteed. Ask us about bulk orders and custom branding. V1 hats, they just make sense. Hey, thanks to Aero-News for putting together the innovation preview and asking V1 to be a part of it. Come see us at Hangar C, booth 56.
Nope, that's not. So in 2023, I embarked on a flight from north central Arkansas to California. And I have a RANS S-20 aircraft. You're familiar with that. It's a 100-mile-an-hour airplane. It took me 17 hours of flight time to get to California in it. I did it over 2 days. And in those 2 days, I experienced poor audio quality. I experienced a lot of head squeeze on the two areas behind my headset and in front of my headset on my hat. And for obvious reasons, I need to wear a hat in my airplane because I have an acrylic, clear acrylic top, and my head gets kind of hot. So I always wear a hat. But what I did find out is when I took my hat off, I had much better ear cup seal and much better sound quality, and I had a lot less noise fatigue. So on the way home, which was another 16 hours, I started thinking there has to be something we can do with a standard baseball cap to make it work better. And what I did was experiment with my sewing machine, and I came up with the V1 hat. We're in manufacture. We have basically 10 different styles. So come by our booth, check it out. Reggie will be there answering questions, and for obvious reasons, he won't be signing autographs. Thanks so much. Have a great week.
There you have it. Third time, 51st Sun and FUN Aerospace Expo, third time for the innovation preview. We appreciate your participation, your coverage. For those of you here covering this as journalists, all the footage is available to you. You're welcome to use it in any way, so long as the meaning and so forth hasn't been changed. And then on top of it, we will be posting the PowerPoint and presentations to a Dropbox, which will post a link at the top of Aero-News underneath where it says where you can find the rest of the video files thereafter, airborne-live.net. And we'll put that link up there as soon as we post everything publicly. I want to thank the best staff in aviation journalism. Great folks, headlined in particular by Nathan Cremesino, Holland Lee, Tom Baker, and just some really great folks who put up with me no matter what. And for that, they deserve my thanks and my apologies. We will see you here next year. We got bigger, better plans. This turned out very well. If you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out to us. But for now, third innovation preview for Sun and FUN Aerospace Expo is finished. We'll see you next year.
I'm a pilot and aviation enthusiast myself. For me, the most exciting model I've ever manufactured was my own. It's just the coolest feeling to have on display a plane that you've personally connected with over the years. Show off that passion for aviation. You know, if you own a general aviation airplane and you want the world to know about it, put it on your desk. Inspire the next generation. If you want to share your love for aviation with a friend or family member, shop our great selection of aircraft models today.
Sensenich to me is an iconic aviation brand.
Here we go, we're taxiing out. First rip on the new prop. Bump throttle now. This prop really bites.
So you picked up a little bit.
Oh yeah, about 15 miles an hour. That's quite a bit.
Something we worked really hard at Sensenich the last 5 years is to try and combine the best performance both at low speed and high speed with our composite props. And I really think on this one, we've done it.
Flight Club is redefining access to the skies. We currently have 68 personal aircraft available across the U.S. market. Aircraft owners can combat high ownership costs with flexible revenue options such as block time, membership dues, and hourly rates. Flight Club even offers a comprehensive fleet insurance policy with a fast and simple quote process. Whether you're looking to fly or list your aircraft, Flight Club makes it easier than ever. Join the movement. Let's take flight.
Putting in your fuel senders was one of the smartest decisions I made.
Made a real difference in my flying.
When I land, I will have the fuel that I expect to have, and it's just been a remarkable improvement.
The SICE system gives me that confirmation.
A whole new level of confidence with my level of fuel on board. I mean, I know exactly how much I've got.
You know, such a simple thing, but so important.
Spring is in the air and it's time to go flying. Whether you've been flying all winter or have some rust to remove, we have some great news. Our spring 25% off sale has just started, but it only lasts for the next 6 days. You'll want to take advantage of this sale through April 8th by using the code SUN.
And we'll see you
at Sun & Fun.
The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged four-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits. With more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.